My name is Burton Francis. I'm from Paul. 2 years ago, we relocated from France, professional rugby career, and now in the wine industry.
A song lyric.
Whoa.
And read for us.
Snow falls soft against the window. I mean, snow, I can relate to this. It resonates. When I was in Dijon, it snowed during COVID. You're just smashing the wines, but I mean, it was more research than just smashing. Snow against the windows and you're sitting there and you're drinking Pinot Noir. I love my braai. Unfortunately, you can't. So you sit inside and cook, and then whatever stew you can cook, you cook, and friends coming over. And this resonates with me. So for me, transition from rugby to wines, it was always part of my professional diet, and so on. When I went from Pretoria to Johannesburg and to Cape Town, you taste different wines and Bloemfontein, and then once you go to France, it's different, and then you go to the chateaus and to the domains, and you just dive in and can go learn more, and that's the exciting part of from sport to wine for me. When we moved to France in 2013, it's new vineyards, new culture, new lifestyle, greener grass. Like I said, I've played for 4 seasons in Agen, that's between Bordeaux and Toulouse. So we just go to Bordeaux and go taste wines and immerse ourselves into the culture there. And the passion they have is different. People of Bordeaux, they only drink Bordeaux. And if you go to Loire Valley, you get your Chardonnays, get your Sauvignon Blanc, and they're very passionate about that. From Burgundy, from my career in the I fully immersed myself into the culture. I got educated, I enrolled myself into an MBA Wine and Spirits business degree, and that ignited the scope of wines and spirits. COVID struck, the pandemic came, and it's like, oof, what now? So rugby, hang up the boots, so it was boots off, books on, and now where to now? So into reality, you have to go work, where do you go? So for me it was, I picked up the phone and rang the producers in Burgundy, and passionate about Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, so I was like, let's go explore this culture. I was very fortunate to taste all those 5 sub-regions, and that ignited the dream of creating Francis wines, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Difficult part for me was, finding my purpose from rugby to reality. We moved from a rugby culture to a student. Who's this? So we have students from everywhere. And here am I, rugby career, I'm sitting here studying. So I think year studies, and I wanted to work in the industry, and I saw the gap and I saw the scope. And I was like, okay, maybe I should import the Burgundies, the small domains, to South Africa. And you're very ambitious, and you're sitting over there, and it's first world country. It's like, okay, this is gonna work, and it's a dream, let's go. After we've done our research and came back to South Africa and spoke to many mentors here in South Africa, they said, hold on, but this is a heavy game. If you want to import, it's massive. So I was like, okay, let's put this on hold. Let's get other mentors on board. What do you think about creating Francis wines? I'm very fortunate to have mentors like Kevin Grant on board from Ataraxia Wines. So I shared my story, and Kevin was like, this is a compelling story. Now, the hardest part, second hardest part, is to find the wines. How are we gonna get you into the market? The only thing I could think about was to be as a negotiant, so buy the wines in bulk. And that's to get quick access. But it wasn't just a phone call away, So it took me like 6 months to get to a winery and a wine cellar. And for us, and for me, it was, you had to go through that route. So you can get Pinot and Chardonnay from Stellenbosch, Wellington, from Ball, but it wasn't part of my story, It wasn't part of my identity. I was looking for similarities as Burgundy, with appellations and that. So I was like, Hemel en Aarde is where I want these wines, So I have 3 appellations. I don't know how I will get these wines, or the grapes, I just have to get it. I was fortunate to get wines in bulk from Laviers, from Babylon Vineyards. So Chris Tukotse, that's the winemaker, and Kevin Grant, that's my consultant. So we sit together and Chris to open up everything for us. And I think it wasn't just easy to say, let's start a brand, you know. It's if you really want it, you need to go grab it, because no one's going to give it to you. Today, it's my first maiden vintage. It's a 2022 vintage Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So it's been 10 months in the market, and it's a reality. How do I associate Pinot in the winter or during the winter? And Pinot is, yes, you can have it in the winter. So, I mean, Pinot Noir, it's an elegant wine. So you can sit and drink this wine alone, even not only on bad days, but good days too. You know, so it's not only a winter wine. So it's a whole through the season. It's an occasional wine too. And the cultivar speaks for himself. The elegance of a Pinot, the rich red fruit. So, I mean, the whole complexity of spice. It's an easy drinking wine. So, I mean, my background, my introduction to red wine, my first wine was a cab. And I mean, a cab from those days was heavy, you know. So you're working your way back from that to a classy and an elegant Pinot Noir. So this wine, this Pinot Noir that we picked, is we were looking for tension and tightness in this Pinot Noir, and we got it. So we're speaking about raspberries, the cherries, hints of spices, mushroom, forest floor. So you can imagine already that complexity that I'm speaking about. So on the nose, you can smell it, the brilliant, bright, ruby hue tint you see here. It's beautiful. And it's a 2022 Pinot Noir, so the process we followed was fairly simple. You know, it allows us to preserve the purity and integrity of the fruit while adding subtle layers of complexity and finesse. So the winemaking process was 20% whole bunch, and it was 11 months in older 228 French barrels. You know, and this is my identity. Similarities is Burgundy, like I explained, my masculine to feminine, and this is in between. So the attack you're getting is definitely, so first thing I look for is the acid in the tannins, and that's what you want. And we want the tension, the tightness, and that's the longevity of a wine. So I just opened this wine now, and it's getting better. That's what I like about Burgundy. So, I mean, how everything started and ignited. So climat refers to limited plots, own unique microclimate, agricultural features. So one plot is specific to what it has, you know, the soil type, the aspect, the facing of the slope, all that. And you can taste this plot is tasting spice. This plot next to him, there's no spice there, but the fruit, the intensity of it, it's beautiful. That's why Chris took and put the whole Babylon vineyard for us to taste, and then something that's suitable to me, you know, my identity. So we took our time. So I made a lot of trips up to Hemel and Aarde to go taste my wine, you know, to taste something that I like and what I want to talk about. To pair this Pinot, a lamb, roasted lamb. You can pair it with tuna, you can pair it with salmon, any roast you can put in there, like a pork belly, oxtail. Winter's Day, I can see the Chardonnay friends coming over. Sun is out. You can smell the food in the oven, it's cooking, it's any poultry you can cook in there, maybe a pasta, because the Chardonnay is perfect to pair with something creamy. I think the achievement of this Chardonnay, it's where we start with the Chardonnay is the acid of the Chardonnay, and the Chardonnay is thought and focused due to its vibrant acidity, and it's very electric, and that's what you want, and that's the heartbeat of a Chardonnay. It's the longevity we want in a Chardonnay for Francis wines. This wine, the Chardonnay, you can smell the zestiness. So for me, What I like, it's got the zestiness of Chablis, the acid of Chablis, and then the nectarine pittiness of a good Chardonnays, you know, and then of the lingering taste, you get that the brioche aftertaste if you're gonna taste it. So the Chardonnay was on its lease for 9 months in older 500-liter French barrels, and this is the same process to allow us to preserve the purity and integrity of the fruit, depth of this fruit, and it's important, you know, while adding that the focus of the Chardonnay. So I like to serve my Chardonnay slightly chilled, just to keep that wines and fruit and aromas all together. Fruits are in line, the attack you get, it's vibrant, you know, it's focused, you know, it's here, and it takes you up on the jawline, which is what you want from a Chardonnay. And that lingering aftertaste. Our harvest was end of Feb, and it's perfect for its sugar levels and acid. So when that's perfect, you can go for it. The cooler climate, the soil type, aspect, all those factors make this a longevity wine. The first thing they will say is they don't like Chardonnay, or they will say, I love a Chardonnay, it's wooded. So that goes already playing into my game, or playing into my arms, you know, because this Chardonnay is light. It's got its fruits, the zestiness, like I said. And it's not your typical Chardonnay out there that's fat, heavy, buttery, or wood that's dominating this wine. You know, so we respect the soil, we respect the fruit of the vine. So, I mean, this is something different. I think our vision for Francis Wines, and we're sourcing these wines from Immersed and Ridge appellation, is it's already our house, and we know what's our house style and the plots we like. So this coming vintage, 2025 vintage, is where we're gonna own the grapes, and that's gonna be magical for us to craft and use it and give our own hands and give our own identity in the whole process. So we are very excited for what the future holds for Francis Wines. Cheers to France and cheers to Immersed.